my name is Rahul, and my most part of education was with Muktangan. And I would say I would remember started studying, joined Muktangan in fourth grade, and I completed studying in Muktangan like 10th grade. Then I also got an opportunity to study with Vidyalankar, which eventually I joined VIT. It's part of the Vidyalankar as well. After that, I worked for almost 2 years as a software engineer, as a support project engineer with Accenture, the MNC of America. Then I thought of doing majors in cloud computing, which is specializing in cloud computing and research. So AWS was my major focus. Then I was searching for different universities and college abroad. So and thought Canada was a good um, country for all my requirements and what I was choosing. Then planned here and gave all the required exams for this. And I came to Canada in 2023 as an international student for cloud computing at Loyalist College. Right now, I'm pursuing the fourth semester, which is the final semester of this course, and soon graduating next to next month, December, end of this year. Uh, as far as now, everything with the college is good and experiences with. Yeah, I would say in all round aspect of the like education and everything I had experience with Muktangar is was unique because I used to see my friends which were studying in different schools back then, and the education and the curriculum designed in Muktangar was very unique. I wouldn't compare or like I couldn't tell like how different it was because we used to have all the different subjects and the classroom for each subject was unique. Unlike if you share different schools had a same classroom but different professor teachers was to come there. So that was a unique experience changing from classroom to classroom, keeping the books organized in the classroom itself was a like exciting thing for us. Like back then, the little things, the little moments we recall now is like worth remembering. Now I see this kind of curriculum we had then, and it is being used here in Canada or whatever abroad countries. So I cherish that moments. Also, I would like to recall the memories of the library we used to have, the how much importance was given to a library back then, a library session in the middle of all the classes. I would like, that's one of my favorite moments, I would say. Muktangan in terms of give me a lot of like skills because I would say like the basic foundations all comes from the school, so discipline, everything. So one of the key would I would remember like the English classes where we used to practice all the reading and everything, kind of a giving a confidence to speak in the front of whole class or something like that became in Accenture we have to give like the presentations and everything. So in Muktangan we were mostly given like a task to do present in the whole class. So like by gaining doing more and more we gain confidence. Apparently after that in college in Accenture in now also I have that confidence where I can like say, yeah, I had this basics, that's why I'm like good at it, and I had like gained knowledge and the confidence from back doing all that practice over in Tangan. Apart from that, choosing universities and college, I had to do research like on internet and joining webinars and workshops, and also going for the seminars around Mumbai, where they used to give a educational like a webinar where which colleges and which streams are right now in boom and which colleges to select. So I had did like 3 4 months of kind of uh, research which helped me. Also, I also contacted like the alumni team like from Muktangan where I met this is a ma'am. She gave me some inputs. Also showed me somewhere we can get loans and everything because I wanted to finance my studies by myself. So I needed a education loan. So I had to go through some hard times, but eventually everything came up to a point that yeah, I made it to this place. The teaching aspects is like it's morely hands-on, assignments based, and less theories. They would just give you topics and give you just a brief of the topic, and is rest upon you. How would you grasp? How would you research about it? How would you read the blogs over the internet and do the group assignments with your colleagues? So it's like a team building and everything. And as they know, like everybody has a different level of grasping power and everything. So they just give you based upon the assignments that you perform. So we have assignments about 80% and 20% is just the return. So it's a weekly based assignment. So we mostly have to attend the classes and do in-lab assignments, in-class assignments, I would say, which would be in-class labs, or otherwise we have to submit a weekly assignment. So it's till now we had did most of the part is assignments. So they give the real world problems and we have to submit solutions for them, being like a engineering stuff, everything. So different from India because the theory is more focused in India, where we have to like get a good knowledge about the theory and we have to explain the papers by writing here. But in this case, if you have an idea and you are able to explain the terms of assignments, it's well and good, I would say. Had few cultural shocks here when I just came to here. First of all was the weather. Like fitting into the weather was a big challenge for me. As soon as I landed, it was it was a winters, but coming like end of the winter. So the temperature was all about like -10 and -7, which was okay for the Canadians right here, but was too cold for us, like for being a brush student. So they were like, this is a okay day, but seeing them saying okay was a big shock for us. And also the people are here very polite. So there's always a saying the words thank you, sorry, welcome was a like a which I learned back there in Muktangan, which very helped me here because it wasn't a big deal to use here because I was known with these words in using the school time. So that kind of but the people being polite was also a culture shock. Also, I would say the transport system here is different back home. So getting used to it, uh, getting used to the people who like work and being around us was also difficult for me initially. I researched and understood that the cloud is booming now. Everything, everywhere it is, whichever industry it is, they will store their data on the cloud and will automate it in the future. Even the small businesses, they don't need to have a big like the all the infrastructure. So even if you have small data, they can just store in the cloud. That was like an inspirational moment for me that I have to switch to something major and make a career out of it. So that's when I decided that I'm going to choose cloud, and cloud has a like a big future. Yeah. The biggest mistake as a beginners, I would say they make is like completing their graduation or 12th, and they start looking for a college abroad, which is like a big no-no because if you don't have experience back home, here it's going to be very hard to get into a job once you graduate. So I had did a 2 years like a software job in back home. So which is like going to be helpful for finding a full-time job here. Right now, my professors say like whichever students came here without experience, they had to show some kind of skills or something to get into a good job. So this is the input from my college professors. They gave me to like it's very important to have a like to work for something after your graduation, like a year. I would say the minimum would be a 2 years. So because you get an idea of the whatever industry you're working, it may be a management, technical. So you have a rough idea like the basics that how corporate works, how your management industry works or hotel management work. So now on basis of that, you can get an idea and get which majors you want to select. So this would be my suggestions to my colleagues. It's like a back home experience. Like, have you been working with similar industry or similar thing? Second thing is, if you're here, if you have any contributions to the college that you made being a student, like working in the student council or everything, where you gain a Canadian experience because you have to deal with the all over the international students as well. So that is a few inputs in your resume they see is. So it's visible that if you have worked in a technical team for your college, or also being a part-time student, if you have worked in a same industry. I tried for internship as a web developer here, but being like a student with experience like 7, 8, 9 years. They were already here. So it is easy to get them because they have a relevant experience. So it was a competitive situation. So I wasn't able to find a technical job right here. So that's why I switched to a regular job that I can find. So if you have a relevant, like a part-time experience also, yeah, that counts. Also, in the last thing is like a attitude. If you have a learning attitude, so Canadians are a very like if they give a chance, but if they also check if you're trustworthy or that. Being said that my employer is like one I have seen. He like I referred few other my friends. So that's when I realized he's like looking for a good attitude that he can talk to the customers or talk to the Canadian people. So these are the points that like employer looks into. Say like before back then have a like a short vision. So it was like just looking for a month ahead or a year ahead. Like I had no clear vision, something like that. When I planned, I came here. I and the situations were here very difficult. Like if you don't plan a year ahead, what happens if you get out of a college? So you need to be prepared for that a year ahead. So you need to make decisions. In case of a job, that's what I planned after graduation. So I need to be planned with my all skills, resumes, LinkedIn. So this gave me a like I need to be well planned for the future. So it may be a long vision person in this case. Also, what I'm looking for a future in terms, I would say like a good job here uh, as AWS developer. That's what in profession I'm like looking for ahead, like a year or two.